By 9 in the morning, the whole apartment shook. Scarlett had barely poured cereal into a bowl when the pounding started, sharp, desperate, as if someone was trying to knock the hinges clean off the door. Ellie jumped in the hallway, nearly dropping the drawing she'd spent all week working on. Her little unicorn, colored in bright golds and blues, crumpled just slightly at the corner. Scarlett didn't move at first. She didn't have to. She knew that knock. She knew that voice. She knew exactly who stood on the other side. But stories like this don't begin with shouting. They begin quietly, with one text, one disappointment, one line you think you can swallow the same way you've swallowed everything else. For Scarlett, it began the morning her mother wrote, "We're skipping your kid's birthday. Things are tight." And it ended with the truth her family never imagined she would uncover. Before we get there, let's step back. Because no storm appears out of nowhere. There are always clouds forming long before the first bolt hits. Scarlett had been raised to be the dependable one, the quiet one, the fixer. Growing up, you learn to read your family's emotional weather the way some people read the ocean. Some waves you ride, some you avoid. Some you simply brace for and hope they don't break anything important. She lived near the coast now, in a small apartment that smelled faintly of salt and old pine. Nothing expensive, nothing extravagant, but warm, bright. The kind of place a woman builds when she's had to rebuild herself too many times. And in every corner, there was Ellie, her 7-year-old daughter whose drawings and glitter trails left the place humming with color. Ellie had inherited Scarlett's eyes, but not her exhaustion. Not yet. The morning the text arrived, Ellie was sitting at the table, coloring a unicorn with a crown. "Mom, do you think Grandma and Grandpa will come this year?" she asked, her eyes full of the same hope she'd carried for years. Scarlett smiled, slicing strawberries, ignoring the pinch in her chest. "I hope so, baby." She didn't finish the sentence before her phone buzzed. "We're skipping your kid's birthday. Things are tight." Scarlett stared at the screen for a long moment. No apology, no explanation, just a statement tossed her way like a receipt. She typed back, "No problem." Because what else do you say when the people who should care don't? But it wasn't no problem. Not for her. And definitely not for Ellie. Ellie wore a little purple dress that Saturday. She helped Scarlett make cupcakes instead of buying a cake because rain pressed against the windows and the world felt smaller than usual. 2 of Ellie's school friends came. They laughed. They danced. They played a silly game Ellie made up on the spot. But when the day quieted, after the friends laughed and the music faded, Ellie walked to the table, picked up a cupcake, stared at its single candle, and whispered, "Maybe next year." She didn't cry. Kids rarely cry when they've learned too early how to protect us from their disappointment. Scarlett swallowed the moment whole, like she had swallowed so many others. But something in her chest throbbed, a familiar ache, but sharper this time. A small fracture forming in a place she had patched too many times before. Christmas arrived faster than expected. December always does when you're juggling bills and a little girl who counts down the days by making paper rings she tapes around her wrist. Ellie woke in her red pajamas holding a drawing she'd made for her grandparents. 2 adults holding hands with a child between them. A tiny heart above their heads. She sat by the window humming softly, waiting for even a small sign of love. Scarlett checked her phone. Once, twice, over and over. Nothing. No call, No message, not even a mistaken emoji. The silence was thick, too thick for a holiday. When Ellie finally drifted to watch a movie, Scarlett opened her laptop. She shouldn't have, but habit is a stubborn thing, especially for people who spent a lifetime convincing themselves their family is better than they are. The moment the screen lit up, she froze. There it was, a tree taller than anything they could afford. Mountains of wrapped gifts spilling across the floor. Balloon archers twisting over the doorway. Her sister's kids tearing into presents like it was a commercial set. Her mother stood in the background, holding a glitter-covered box, smiling wide. The caption? So blessed to be with our favorite little ones. Favorite. A word that landed deeper than any insult could. Scarlett felt a small hand touch her arm. Ellie had walked up silently. She saw the screen. She saw the balloons. She saw the joy she wasn't part of. "Mom," she whispered. "They forgot me again, didn't they?" Scarlett couldn't speak. She pulled Ellie into her arms, but the little girl stayed stiff, quiet, staring at the family who hadn't bothered to send even a text. After Ellie fell asleep that night, curled into the blanket she'd painted gold and navy, Scarlett sat in the hallway, the quiet pressed against her ribs. She replayed years of sacrifice, the phone plan she covered when her father lost yet another job, the insurance she paid so they could keep their car, the late-night emergency transfer she never got back, the countless excuses she made for everyone but herself. Her family loved to preach about loyalty, but loyalty, in their language, only went one direction. And as she stared into the dim light, something inside her didn't crack. It aligned. A clean, sharp line between everything she had accepted and everything she would no longer allow. She opened her laptop, not for work, not out of habit. She clicked payments. Years of automatic transfers stared back at her, a financial map of every time she tried to earn a love that never arrived. Her hand didn't shake. She clicked cancel, then another, and another. No dramatic music, no trembling, just a quiet liberation, a chain reaction of peace. By sunrise, every lifeline they depended on her for was gone. Not out of revenge, out of protection, for herself, and for Ellie. The next day was strangely peaceful. Scarlett cleaned the kitchen, washed Ellie's paintbrushes, folded laundry. All ordinary things, but each felt lighter. Her phone buzzed. It wasn't her parents. It was her sister, Marissa. "Scarlett, everything got shut off. Dad's losing it. Mom's crying. Did you do something?" Her voice wasn't angry. It was tired, like she knew exactly what their parents were capable of. "I'm just done," Scarlett replied. A pause. Then, "Good." The world outside was chaos. Inside, soft, quiet, safe. For the first time in years, Scarlett felt like she was raising Ellie in a home that belonged to them, and only them. But peace never lasts when someone else depended on your silence. At exactly 9 a.m. the next morning, the pounding began, the kind you feel in your teeth. Ellie startled and ran behind Scarlett. Scarlett took a breath and opened the door just an inch. Her father's face filled the gap, red, wild, furious. "What did you do?" Behind him stood her mother, clutching her purse like a shield, her Aunt Valerie with arms crossed, her cousin Tessa ready to judge anything that breathed. Scarlett didn't flinch. "I stopped paying for everything I used to pay for," she said calmly. He shoved the door wider, but she blocked it with her foot. "You're dragging your kid into this," he snapped. "You're poisoning her against family." "Family?" Scarlett said softly. "You mean the family who skipped her birthday because things were tight and then threw a massive Christmas party for Marissa's kids?" Valerie scoffed. Tessa muttered Scarlett was being dramatic. And then Ellie stepped forward. Small, quiet, but steady. "They forgot me," she said. "They forgot me again." The hallway froze. Not even a breath. Her father broke first. "We were busy," he muttered. "Yes," Scarlett replied. "Busy celebrating the kids you labeled as your favorites." He shook with anger. "This doesn't explain why you shut off everything without warning." "Oh," Scarlett said, tilting her head. "But that's not the real crisis, is it?" His eyes narrowed. "What are you implying?" Scarlett stepped away, grabbed a packet from the entry table, and handed it to him. He read the first line. His face drained of color. A loan application in Scarlett's name, with her forged signature. Nearly $8,000, taken without her knowledge. Her mother gasped. Valerie whispered, "Oh my God." Tessa stepped back. "It was a misunderstanding," he stammered. "You didn't need the money as much as we did." Scarlett didn't raise her voice. "You stole from your own daughter. And you expected me to stay quiet." He lunged for the papers. She pulled them away. "You listen to me," he growled. "If you file anything—" "I already did," Scarlett said. Silence hit like winter air. Cold, heavy, unmistakable. Ellie tugged her sleeve. "Mom," she whispered, "can we close the door now?" "Yes, baby." Scarlett met her father's eyes, calm, unbroken, and shut the door. This time, he didn't stop it. He couldn't. He no longer had the right.